Welcome to your online class. As I am your new English teacher, and this one is your first class. I think due to COVID condition, we are not in that very situation to take offline classes. So there is the provision of online classes from your school side. So I think today in class 10th, we will discuss the section of English grammar. As you know that in English grammar, the syllabus prescribed by the CBSE are according to the section. In section A, you will get the reading section. In section B, there is the inclusion of grammatical portion, that is right along with writing skill, and then the third section, section C, is related to your literature book that we will discuss later on. But today our main focus is on English grammar. The syllabus for the English grammar for class 10 is, as you are seeing on the board, I have written narration, which is also known by the name of reported speech. I think the name is quite familiar to you, and when we will discuss the things related to narration, then it will become quite clear to all of you that what is narration, what are the different types of sentences that comes under narration. So I think this one is your first class and I am new to you. I am also not familiar to each and every one of you. So I think slowly and steadily we will do the things accordingly, and when we will have the offline classes, then we will deal these all things in a perfect way. And I think this one is going to be a big boost for you, that sitting at your home, in your room, you are enjoying such type of online classes. I think this online classes is a very supportive things which your school has given you, and I think you need to utilize it. You need to bring a good things for you, that on the basis of this very online classes, you are going to do the things accordingly. So the topic that I have written on the board, as you are seeing, is reported speech. This one is your syllabus for class 10 in grammatical portion, and in grammar today we will discuss the first thing, that is narration. Before going deep inside the chapter, I want to say one thing to all of you, that without the knowledge of tense, narration is incomplete. So you need to know about the different forms of tenses, starting from present, past and future. And I think these all things are not new. Tense, the knowledge of tense you have acquired, you have obtained in your previous class. Your previous teacher has must discussed you about this, and I know that without the knowledge of tense, narration is quite difficult for you. So we will do that very thing as well, that we will know about the different things, we will know about the tenses as well. But according to this situation, we will discuss the things in a very systematic way, and when you will be here in your school premises, we will discuss these all things again in a perfect way, in a detailed way. So I think narration comes, now we are going to start the material, the things that I have written on the board, that is the narration, which is also known by the name of reported speech, as discussed, as prescribed by the CBSE. So narration means to say it comes under transformation. And what do you mean by transformation? I think it is quite clear to all of you that when we change the format of the sentence without altering its sense, that there is no change in the meaning, only there is the change of, only there is the alteration of pattern of the sentence, but the meaning remains same. So this narration, voice, transform, all come in transformation. These all come under transformation, and I think you are quite capable of doing these all things based on the knowledge of the tense. in your previous class, when you were in your class 6, 7 or 8, your teacher has must discuss in the class about the different forms of the present tense, past tense and future tense, and I think it is quite essential before entering the chapter that you must have the knowledge of the narration. And I know that you all are aware of it, as I have talked to your teacher. He told me about the things that you are quite capable of knowing and you are having the good knowledge of the tense. Then I think it is the best thing for you before entering this topic that is written on the board, narration. So now we are going to start the topic narration, which is also known by the name of the reported speech. So firstly we will know about narration, that it is the sentence in which there is only the alteration of the structure of the sentence without changing its meaning. So narration comes under transformation, and transformation is that very thing in which we only change the structure, the pattern of the sentence, and the meaning remain same. So now we will discuss the topic without any further delay, that is narration. So narration comes under transformation. It comes under transformation. So transformation means to say changing the pattern of the sentence without altering its sense. Without altering its sense. When you will face your final board examination of class 10, then it will, from this section, the marks distribution from this section is 4. You will get 4 marks from this section, narration. So you need to know about narration. So changing the pattern of the sentence without altering its sense is known as transformation. So that is the narration. The word, now we need to know about the narration. The word narration has been derived from the word narrate. As you all are aware that what is the meaning of the narration. Narration means to say, the word narrate. Narrate means to say it, to say something. For example, if someone is narrating something to you, it means he is saying to you that my grandmother narrates me a story. It means what? That your grandmother is telling you a story. So this word narration has been derived from word narrate. So narrate means to say something. So this word that you are saying, narration, it has been derived from word narrate. As you are seeing on the board, the word narrate, N-A-R-R-A-T. Narrate means to say something. What it means? To say something. So under this topic you will discuss that in what different way the sentences are said. So there are 2 different ways to say a sentence under narration. In the first section you will discuss the first type of sentence under narration is direct speech, and in other we will discuss about the indirect speech. So the story behind narration is that you have to convert the direct speech of sentences into indirect speech. It means that you will have to learn how the sentences of the direct speech is converted to indirect speech. Now before going, we will know that what type of sentences is direct speech and what type of the sentences is indirect speech. So on what basis you will capable of identifying, on what basis you are capable of recognizing the sentence, that which type of sentence will be of direct speech and which type of sentence will be of indirect speech. So under narration there are 2 types of sentences. There are 2 types of sentences. The first is direct speech. Now we will know about the direct speech, that how you will identify the sentences of direct speech. What is the basic structure for identifying the sentence of direct speech? Direct speech sentence means to say that when the exact word of the speaker is quoted. Quoted means to say when it is inside the quotation marks. As you are aware that inverted comma is also known by the name of quotation marks. So direct speech sentence, whenever you will see the sentences of the direct speech, when you will see, you will have a good categorization under it, that all the sentences of the direct speech comes under inverted comma. Inverted comma means to say quotation mark. So what will be the exact definition for the direct speech? It means that when the exact word of the speaker, when the exact word of the speaker is quoted, when the exact word of the speaker is quoted, it is said to be in direct speech. It is said to be in direct speech. So now from this definition, it is quite clear to all of you that how you will identify the sentences of direct speech. Whenever you will see that what is said by the speaker is quoted, then it is direct speech sentence. It will come under direct speech. For example, from example, it will be quite clear to all of you that what type of sentences comes under direct speech. So for example, we are taking a sentence, my mother said to me. My mother said to me, where are you going? Where are you going? As you are seeing, the speaker in this sentence is my mother. So whatever is said by the mother is inside the quotation marks. As you are seeing, is inside the quotation marks, means to say it is inside double inverted comma. So whenever you will see this type of sentence, then you without any hesitation can say that here the exact word of the speaker is quoted, that you are saying it is put inside inverted comma. So in narration, the whole story is that now from this type of sentence, that it is direct sentence, direct speech sentence, from this type of sentence you will have to convert this sentence into indirect speech. Now we will know about the second type of sentence, that what type of sentence is indirect speech. I think the direct speech sentence is quite clear to all of you, that on what basis you will recognize the sentences of the direct speech, that whenever the exact word of the speaker is quoted, it is said to be in direct speech. Now we will come about the second type of sentence that comes under narration after direct speech, that it is indirect speech. Now we will know about the second type of sentence, indirect speech. So what is the other type of sentence? Indirect speech. Indirect speech means to say when the exact word of the speaker is said without quoting it. Means to say, in direct speech there was the quotation marks. When the speaker was saying anything, the exact word of the speaker was quoted. But what happens in indirect speech? This quotation marks is eliminated. There is the elimination of quotation marks. Means to say, when the exact word of the speaker is said without quoting it. Without quoting it, means to say there is the elimination of quotation marks. So the whole story of the narration is that you will have to know the rules and regulations, that how the sentences of the direct speech is converted to indirect speech. So indirect speech means to say when the exact word of the speaker is said without quoting it. Means to say there will be no quotation marks without quoting it. So the whole story of narration is that how you will convert the sentences of direct speech into indirect. Now we will know about this, that if you are going to change this sentence into indirect speech, then how you will change it. So there is basic rule for the assertive sentence, for the interrogative sentence, for the imperative sentence, for the optative sentence, and for the exclamatory. But as for example, I am going to give you the sentence that how you will recognize the sentence, how you will recognize it, the sentences of indirect speech. When I will change this one into indirect, then it will happen that there will be no marks of there will be no mark into inverted comma there. So I think when I will change it, then it will becomes my mother. The same sentence I am going to change it from direct to indirect. It happens what? My mother asked me. My mother asked me where I was going. So there is no inverted comma in this sentence. So I think my mother asked me where I was going. So there is no any inverted comma in this sentence. So this sentence was in direct, but this one is in indirect. Why? Because there is no any inverted comma. You can say that this one is the plain without any quotation marks. I have written the sentences on the board, so it is in indirect speech. So I think it is quite clear to all of you that how you will recognize the sentences of narration that comes under narration, the direct and indirect. So briefly I will say that the direct speech sentences is quoted and indirect speech sentence is said without quoting it. So this one is the basic thing to recognize the sentences of direct and indirect speech. Now here comes the rules, that what are the basic rules that you need to know when you will change the sentences of direct speech into indirect. Now from here we will know about the rules, that what are the rules that how the sentences of the direct speech is changed to indirect. So we will know the rules one by one, and under this there are two types of rules. That first rule is the general rule and the second one is the special rule. In general rule we will know about the different types of rule. In general rule there are three categories. The first one is the change of person. The second one is the change of tense. So here I am talking about the tense. So you must have the knowledge of tense. If you are not knowing about the tense, then I think it will become so difficult for all of you to understand a single thing related to the narration, because name along with structure is quite essential. So if you are not knowing about it, then I think it is going to be a difficult task ahead for all of you to understand about the different types of sentences. So I know some of the students are telling me that sir, please explain in Hindi. I am not getting you properly. But I think today is my first class. I will take your class in Hindi as well. But here today only I will explain you in English, so that it will become quite clear to you that school authority that I must take your first class fully in English. So I am obliged, so I am not going to do that I will explain anything in Hindi. Today is my first class, so I will explain each and everything in English only. So you need to have your attention properly, be concentrative. I think there will be no any problem in understanding my language, because whatever I am explaining to all of you is not a tough English. It is, I think, of daily use English word that I am using. So I think there will be no any problem to all of you. But very soon I will explain each and everything in Hindi as well. So many comments, so many things are coming here. When you will teach everything, hard will get easy. कौन सा class का है sir? This one is of class 10. I think reported speech is for your class 10 as prescribed by the CBSE. I will tell you each and everything related to the syllabus, that what you will have to discuss in your coming academic section, in your coming academic time, that what is under this very grammatical portion. So we all are here discussing about the narration. We have discussed about the direct speech. We have discussed. So I think general rule is applicable for every type of sentences, whether it is assertive sentence, interrogative sentence, optative sentence, imperative sentence, or exclamatory. So now about the general rule we will know first. Under general rule there are three categories. So we will discuss the first, that is general rule. Under general rule there are three categories. The first is the change of person. The B number is change of tenses, and C is change of other parts of speech. Change of other parts of speech. Now we will discuss every section, that is A, B and C, one by one, that how there is the change of person and how there is the change of tense and how there is the change of other parts of speech. So first there is the use, that how you will change the person. As you all are aware that there are the three persons: first person, second person and third person. And it is also quite clear and you all are familiar that what is first person, what is second person and what is third person. Okay, I know you all are understanding, you all are taking it so easy, and I only want to make you aware of it, that I want to freshen your mind, I want to recall your memory related to the narration. So I think in reported speech there are two. So first is change of person. So I was there, that first person. What is first person? I think there is a change of person. The first person is what? First person is the speaker. So you can say the definition of the first person, you can say in this way, that speaker is the first person. Speaker is the first person. So second person, as I am speaking, so I am the first person. Second person means to say listener. If somebody is listening me, he will be termed as the second person. And third person, the person is spoken about whom I am speaking, he is referred as the third person. So I think it is also quite clear to all of you that what do you mean by the first person, second person and third person. It is quite clear. So first person is the speaker, second person is the listener and third person is spoken about. So we will know about the rules, that how there is the change of person in narration. How person change it happens in narration. So we will know it by a formula which is known as SON formula. So here in change of person, we will know that the first is SON and 1, 2, 3. So what type of technique is this? What type of method is this? SON 1, 2, 3 means to say this one is the first person. First person is changed according to the subject. Second person is changed according to the object, and there is no change in third person. So first person is changed according to the subject. Second person is changed according to the object, and third person is changed. That means to say it remain unchanged, that there is no change. N stand for no change, O stand for object, and S stand for first person. So in change of person, which comes under narration, first person is changed according to the subject, second person is changed according to the object, and there is no change in third person. There is no change in third person. Third person, no change. So this was the categorization, that how you will convert the sentences of first person, second person and third person. So I think it is quite clear that this was the basic technique on which you will have to memorize it, that first person according to subject, first person according to subject, second person according to object, third person no change. So you need to memorize it, that this one is the change of sentence. So now here we will discuss about a chart, that how the chart, I think the chart is must, that there is the changing of the sentence, that how you will change the first person, that comes under nominative case, possessive case and objective case. I think these all things you need to know, that how the object in nominative case is changed to objective case, and how the nominative case is changed to possessive case. Under possessive case there are two categories, that is the possessive pronoun and possessive adjective. So that very chart, that very table is quite essential, because the conversion will be fully based, on that only. So before that you will have to memorize that chart. I think that very chart I will tell you very soon, and in that very things you need to know that I is the objective case, when you will change, sorry, I is the nominative case, and when you will change I into objective it will become me. And what will be the possessive adjective and possessive pronouns, so we will prepare a chart for that, and I think that very chart is going to be quite essential for all of you, that how to categorize and how to change the person from one to another and one to third. So now here we will discuss about the chart. As you know, there are three cases. The first is the nominative case, the second is the objective case, and the third is the possessive case. In possessive case there are two categories. The first one is what? Possessive adjective, and the second one is what? Possessive pronoun. So now we will discuss about that what is that very cases, and I am going to prepare that very chart for you here on the board. So now we will know about that very things. The first is nominative case, then comes objective case, then comes possessive case. Possessive case, under possessive case there are two categories. The first one is possessive pronoun, and the second one is possessive adjective. Now the first is I. I is, I think, first person singular number. It is quite clear to all of you that I is first person singular number. So for I, what will be the objective case? It will become me. And now when we come for the possessive pronoun and possessive adjective, so we need to know about that what will be the possessive pronoun for I? It will become mine, and for possessive adjective it will become mine. So this one was the conversion for I. This one was the conversion for I. That I, objective case me, possessive pronoun mine, and possessive adjective mine. Now here comes the first person plural, that is the we. Its objective will be us, and its possessive pronoun will become ours, and possessive adjective are. Now second person singular number, second person singular plural both is you. So its objective will become what? You, and its possessive pronoun will become yours, and possessive adjective your. Then comes the third person singular number. In third person singular number, first is the he. So for he, the objective case is him. For it is his, and also for possessive adjective it is his. Then comes she. For she, the objective case is her, hers, and her. Then comes it. Objective case will be it. There is no any possessive pronoun for it, and here it is its. For they, it is objective case for they is them, and for possessive pronoun it is theirs, and possessive adjective there. So I think this chart is quite essential that I have written on the board, that you need to memorize, that what are the different change from nominative case to objective and from objective to possessive. I, nominative case, objective case will become me, and possessive pronoun mine, and possessive adjective mine. So this table is quite essential for the conversion of person under narration. So you need to memorize it at that very time when you will change the sentences of direct speech into indirect. This changing is going to be quite crucial, quite essential for all of you. So you need to memorize it. So this was the first topic, that was the number 8, change of person. So in change of person you will have to memorize two things, that is the SON formula. First person according to the subject, second person according to the object, and third person there will be the no change. And you have to, after that very changing, you have to memorize this chart, this table, that is of nominative case, objective case and possessive case, as everything is written here on the board. So I think you have quite known about this all thing. Now we will discuss about the second type of general rule. That second type of general rule was what? It was change of tense. Now it's time, it's a testing time for all of you, that you need to know about the second general rules under narration, which is known by the name of change of tense, which is known by the name of change of tense. So there is the inclusion B number, that is change of tense. After change of person we will discuss change of tense. Change of tense. Now here one question arises, that what type of sentences will be there in the direct speech? It means that this sentence is of which tense, then in indirect you will have to convert the sentence in which tense. So I think in B number, change of tense, before that you need to know about some of the rules, some of the terms related to narration. Terms related to narration, that means to say when we will discuss about the things, that is the direct speech, you need to know about the terms. So before discussing about the change of tense, I need to discuss something with you, that how the terms are used in narration. Different terms. Different terms. Different terms means to say in narration when you will see there are use of different terms. For example, I am taking a sentence. What? I said to him. I said to him, where do you live? Where do you live? So you are seeing that this sentence is of direct speech. Why? The exact word of the speaker is quoted. So without any hesitation you can say that this sentence is of direct speech. Now what are the different terms? As you are seeing, the sentence that will come under inverted comma is known as reported speech. Is known as reported speech. The sentence that will come inside inverted comma is termed as reported speech. And the sentence which is outside of the inverted comma is known as reporting speech. Is known as reporting speech. The verb of the reporting speech is known as reporting verb. The verb of the reporting speech is known as reporting verb, also known as in short form RV. And the subject of the reporting speech is known as reporter. The subject of the reporting speech is known as reporter. And the object of the reporting speech is known as object of reporting verb. Object of RV. RV stands for reporting verb. So these all are the important terms related to narration, that the the part of the direct speech which comes under inverted comma is known as reported speech, and the part of direct speech which is outside of the inverted comma is known as reporting speech, and the verb of the reporting speech is known as reporting verb, and the subject of the reporting speech is known as the reporter, and the object of the reporting speech is known as object of reporting verb. So this was the different terms related to the narration, and before knowing the rules you need to know about the different terms, that what is reported speech, what is reporting speech, what is reporting verb, what is reporter, and what is object of reporting verb. So I think from this example it has become quite clear to all of you that what do you mean by different terms used in narration. I think this one is not the new thing that I am dealing here. Before your 10th class, it has been discussed in your previous class that what are the different terms related to narration. It was a memory to be recalled that I discussed this all thing here in your class. So this was the first thing that you need to know: reported speech, reporting speech, reporter, reporting verb, and object of reporting verb. So I think it is quite clear. Now we will discuss about the second type of general rule. After discussing change of person, we will discuss change of tense. Okay, I will start with assertive sentence. Okay, I think it is quite familiar to all of you that I think this one is your online classes. When you will again back to your school campus, we will discuss it again in a perfect way, only for your memory and only for making you perfect in that very rhythm of your study line. We are discussing this all thing in a brief way, but when you will come for your offline class, we will discuss this all thing once again. And now we are starting the second rules of the general type, and the second rule of the general type was what? Change of tense. Means to say the sentences are changed according to the tense form. That was the B, change of tense. Change of tense. Now the first one, I think in tense, the first form of the present tense is simple present tense. The first form of the present tense is simple present. And the same simple present is also known by the name of present indefinite. Simple present name is according to the English, modern English grammar, and present indefinite is according to the old English grammar. So both, the name is quite essential to avoid confusion. So you need to memorize these both names, that simple present or present indefinite, to avoid confusion. And I know it perfectly that you are quite aware of recognizing the sentences of the simple present, that how the sentences of the simple present is recognized. So I think for that a basic structure is, so simple present basic structure is what? Subject plus V1 or V5 plus object. Whenever you will have the sentence framing based on this structure, then I think without any hesitation you can say that this sentence belongs to simple present or present indefinite. So now we are going to explain you about how the sentences of the direct speech related to the tense is changed into indirect speech. But before that, we need to know that if the reporting verb is in present tense or future tense, there is no change in tense of reported speech in indirect speech. Means to say, if the reporting verb is past tense, then only the tense is changed. The tense of direct speech is changed. So you need to memorize it when the tense of the direct speech is changed and when not. So it will become quite clear that first is when the reporting verb is in present or future tense. When the reporting verb is in present or future tense, there will be no change of tense. There will be no change of tense in reported speech. So you need to know it here that whenever the reporting verb is in present or future tense only, there will be no change of tense in reported speech. Means to say, if the reporting verb is in past tense, then only the tense of the reported speech is changed. So this one is the second rule. Means to say, when the reporting verb is in past tense, then only the tense of reported speech is changed. Then only the tense of reported speech is changed. So you need to memorize these two important points related to narration that comes under the general rule of change of tense. Means to say, when the reporting verb is in present or future tense, there will be no change of tense in reported speech. So when the reported speech tense will be changed? Only when the tense of the reporting verb is in past tense. And what will be the change? And the change will be as follows. The change will be as follows. So how the tenses are changed? So means to say, a number. When the sentence of direct speech is in simple present, it will change to simple past. It will change to simple past. Now it's your duty to know that what type of sentence is simple present and what type of sentence is simple past. Based on the structure, you will have to recognize the different types of sentences. So here is what the simple present tense is changed to simple past. If you are saying that in indirect speech the reporting verb is in past tense, so the reported speech tense will be changed from direct to indirect. Means to say, if the sentences in direct speech is of simple present, while converting into indirect speech, it will become what? Simple past. Now the second is, if the sentence is present continuous, sentence is changed to past continuous. Present continuous sentence is changed to past continuous tense. Present, if the sentences in the direct speech is of present continuous, it will be changed into past continuous. Now the third conversion of tense is present perfect. Present perfect is changed to past perfect. Present perfect is changed to past perfect. Now after that, D number. If the sentence is of simple past, it is changed into past perfect. It is changed into past perfect. I am rubbing it, and the next conversion is E number. If the sentence is in past continuous, it will be changed to past perfect continuous. Past perfect or past perfect continuous, it remain unchanged. Past perfect or past perfect continuous, there is no change. Means to say, it remain unchanged. After that, was where will be changed to had been. Was where will be changed to had been. Can may will be changed to could might. Can may will be changed to could might. Shall will be changed to should would. Shall will be changed to should would. So this was the conversion of the tenses that you need to memorize. I think this all rule that I am discussing right now is going to be very fruitful for all of you when you will convert the sentences of direct speech into indirect speech. So this was the change of tense. Now the third was that C number, that under general rule the C number was what? Change after change of person, change of tense. Now comes change of other parts of speech. Change of other parts of speech. First is today. If there is use of today in direct speech, when you will change it in indirect, today will become that day. It will become that day. Second is tomorrow. Tomorrow will be changed to the next day. Third is yesterday. If there will be yesterday, it will change to the previous day. So there are so many words that you need to change in that very format only when it is from changing to from direct to indirect. So yesterday will be changed to the previous day. If there is no will be changed to then. So you need to memorize that what type of changes are there for other parts of speech. Today is changed to that day, tomorrow is changed to the next day, yesterday is changed to the previous day, now is changed to then. That night, tonight will be changed to that night. Tonight will be changed to that night. So this all was the general rule that I have discussed you. Now it comes the special rule. In special rule we will discuss the rules separately. Follow the assertive sentence, interrogative sentence, imperative sentence, optative sentence and exclamatory sentence. So we will do each and everything one by one, and very soon I will tell you about the special rule, that what is the special rule for changing the sentences of assertive from direct to indirect. Now we are moving to the special rule. Special rule. Special rule for assertive sentence. Before knowing about the special rule related to the assertive sentence, that how you will change the assertive sentence from direct to indirect, you need to know about the definition of the assertive sentence. The assertive sentence is also known as declarative sentence. Means to say the sentences which is of yes or no sense. Which is of yes or no sense is known as assertive sentence. Assertive sentence always ends with a full stop, and there are two types of sentences under assertive sentence. First is the affirmative sentence and the second one is the negative sentence. So we will discuss these all under assertive sentence. And for the assertive sentence, what are the rules? I think the general rule is applicable for all the types of sentences. If there is the use, then general rule is applicable for every type of sentence. So in assertive sentence, what are the rules to change the sentences of direct speech into direct? We will know it. Rules. In rules number 8, the first is reporting verb. I think it is quite familiar to all of you that what is reporting verb. Reporting verb is changed to say, says, said. If there is object ahead, reporting verb. So if there is the object ahead of the reporting verb, then the reporting verb is changed to say, says, said. This one is the first rule for the conversion of direct speech from indirect speech related to assertive sentence only. Okay. After telling you about the rules, I will give you the example. The second is inverted comma. Inverted comma is replaced by that. So here you need to know that if you are converting the sentences of the assertive sentence from direct speech to indirect speech, inverted comma is always replaced by that. And the C is apply the general rule. Apply the general rule. So these three rules you need to memorize before changing the assertive sentence from direct to indirect. Means to say, reporting verb is changed to say, says, said only if there is object ahead of reporting verb. Second is inverted comma is replaced by that, and third is apply the general rule. So following these all three rules, you are quite capable of converting the sentences of the direct speech into indirect speech. So here with the help of an example, I am going to elaborate that how you will change the sentences of assertive from direct to indirect. For example, my mother said to me, my mother said to me, know you very well. So you can say here one sentence as an example I have taken, that is of assertive. My mother said to me, I know you very well. This sentence is of direct speech. Why? Because it is under the inverted comma. The exact word of the speaker has been quoted. So how you will change? The first is that from this sentence is direct speech sentence, I am converting into indirect. So see here what the rule says, and according to the rule I am changing it. My mother said to, here I am going to tell you, my mother said to me. So said to, it will be changed to tell, say, said. So here you will tell my mother told me. Give here, told here will be. So told will be changed to said. My mother said me. So inverted comma will be replaced by that. My mother said me that. First person change will be according to the subject. What is subject here? My mother. My mother said to me that. For mother there will be the use of see. And this sentence is of simple present, so it will be converted to simple past. So what will be the simple past structure? It will become she knew. She knew. Second person will be changed according to the object. She knew me very well. So here you need to look that the sentences are changed according to the rules that my mother tell me. So my mother say is tells, told is changed to say, says, said. So my mother said me that she knew me very well. As you are aware that this sentence is of simple present. So simple present tense will be converted to simple past. And for simple past, after subject there will be the use of V2. There will be the use of V2. So here the V2 of know is knew. It will become that she knew me very well. So there was the change of the tense, there was the change of person, there was the change of other parts of speech, and following these all changes, it was quite clear that how you will change the sentences of assertive from direct to indirect. So with the help of example and remembering these three rules, that reporting verb is changed to say, says, said. If there is object ahead, reporting verb, and inverted comma is replaced by that. And last is apply the general rule. As earlier I have discussed you about the general rule. Under general rule there are three categories. The first is what? Change of person, second was change of tense, and third was change of other parts of speech. So following these three, it was quite clear to all of you that how you will change the sentences related to the assertive sentence from direct to indirect speech. So it was assertive. Now we are moving to our next type of sentence, that is interrogative. So before dealing you about the interrogative sentence, it is quite essential to know about that what type of sentences are interrogative sentence. Interrogative sentence means to say when the sentences are used for asking questions. The sentence which are used for asking question is known as interrogative. And in interrogative there are two types of sentences. The first is the yes no question and the second is the WH question. Yes no question means to say when the interrogative sentence will start with auxiliary verb, it will be termed as yes no question. And WH question means to say when the interrogative sentence will start with WH word. WH word is like where, what, how, when, and auxiliary verb means to say do, does, did, was, where, has, have, has. These all are under auxiliary verb. So I think interrogative sentence means to say when the sentence is used to ask a question. When the question is being asked, then that very sentence is known as interrogative, and it always ends with a marks of interrogation. It always ends with marks of interrogation. So I know that second type of sentences interrogative about the different types of sentences that will comes under interrogative, and there is the separate rules as well. There is the separate rule as well for converting the sentences of direct speech into indirect speech. Now we will look for the interrogative sentence, that how the sentences of interrogative is changed to indirect speech, is changed to indirect. Okay, under B number there is the use of interrogative sentence. Interrogative sentence. So here I will discuss only the rule. When you will be offline, when you will be here in your school, I will tell you about the definition, I will tell you about the types of interrogative sentence. So for the first is yes no question. Under interrogative sentence there comes the yes no question. Yes no question. So yes no question means to say when the interrogative sentence will start with auxiliary verb. When interrogative sentence will start with auxiliary verb, it will be known by the name of yes no question. So look here, for yes no question what are the rules? The first rule is reporting verb is Reporting verb is changed to ask, asks, or ask. So in yes no question, the first rules is reporting verb is changed to ask, asked, asked. Second is inverted comma is replaced by if or whether. If or whether. If you will replace the inverted comma for the yes no question for converting the sentences from direct to indirect, what you will have to do, you will have to place there if or whether instead of inverted comma. The third rule is follow the general rule. Follow the general rule. Follow the general rule. So following these three, you will be quite capable of converting the sentences of direct speech into indirect for yes no question. That comes under interrogative sentence. Now, with the help of an example, we will see how the sentences are changed. For example, the teacher said to me, comma inverted comma, the teacher said to me, do you study at your home? As you are seeing that this sentence is interrogative because there is a mark of interrogation at the end of the sentence, and how you recognize that this sentence is interrogative and under interrogative it is of yes no, because here auxiliary verb do is used. Whenever there will be the use of auxiliary verb at the starting of the interrogative sentence, it will be termed as yes no question. So here yes no question is given to you. Now I am going to convert it from direct to indirect. As you are quite capable of recognizing that this sentence is of direct speech. Why? Because the exact word of the speaker has been quoted. Now we will have to convert this sentence into indirect speech, means to say there will be the elimination of inverted comma. Now look what the rule says and how I am going to convert it. For example, the teacher. This one is the reporting verb. Reporting verb will be changed to ask. The teacher asked me. Now for inverted comma, what you will use? If or whether. So there you are free to use either if or whether. So here I will use if. If you are using whether, then it is also correct. The teacher asked me if. Now this interrogative sentence is changed to assertive. This interrogative sentence will be changed to assertive. So for assertive, you will have to place subject first. So here the subject is you and second person. You is the second person. So second person will be converted according to the object. What is object? Me. So what it will become? I. Now you will have to recognize the sentence. That this sentence belongs to which tense? As you are seeing, here is do, and do does is used with simple present. And I have told you about the conversion, that all the sentences, that means to say if the sentence is of simple present, it will become simple past in indirect speech. So what it will become? I do, it will become did, because simple past there is the use of V2. If I did study, at, your is the second person. Second person will be according to the object. If I did study at my home, so it will become my. And how? Your become my. There was the chart which I have told you while that very time I was discussing about the change of person. So when you will look there in that very category of your, there is what will be the category for the me? It will become my. So the teacher asked me if I did study at my home. This was the conversion for the interrogative sentence, yes no question. So following these three rules, it will become quite clear to all of you, and you will be fully capable of converting the sentences of the direct speech into indirect speech. So now after the yes no question, we will discuss about the WH question, that how the sentences of WH question is changed to indirect speech. Now coming to our next section of the interrogative section, that is the use of how the direct speech sentence is converted to indirect speech. In interrogative, we will discuss about the next one, WH question. WH question. WH question means to say when the interrogative sentence will start with WH words. When the interrogative sentence will start with WH word. WH word means to say when, where, how, which, whose, whom. These all are WH words. So we will explain about the definition in a great detail when you will be in your offline classes. Here only I am explaining you about the rules, that now you need to know about that how the WH question is changed from direct to indirect. What are the rules? The rule number 1 is, here the same reporting verb will be changed to ask, asked or asked. Reporting verb will be changed to ask, asks or asked. Now what will be the second rules? So here there is a slight alteration. What will be the alteration? That instead of in the inverted comma, the same WH word is used. Here when you will change the WH question from direct to indirect speech, you will have to use the same in WH word to replace inverted comma. So inverted comma, which is also known as quotation marks, inverted comma is replaced by the same WH word, word. So at that very time, when whatever the WH words will be there, you will have to use the same WH word for replacing inverted comma. Now the third is, follow the general rule. Follow the general rules. So general rule is applicable for every type of sentence. Now I will explain it to you that how the WH question is converted. With the help of an example, I am going to elaborate. I am going to define you how you will convert the sentences of direct from direct to indirect for WH question. For example, my friend said to me, how are you? My friend said to me, how are you? As you are looking at the sentence, as you are saying the sentence, that this sentence is of WH type. Now what will be the rule? The first is, reporting verb will be changed to ask, asked or asked. So here said to will be changed to asked. So what it will become? My friend asked me. So here what I have told you, that for the inverted comma, the same WH word is going to be used. What is the WH word here? How. So how will be converted to? It is not going to convert it. For inverted comma, the same WH word you need to use. My friend asked me how. Second person object, according to the object, how I was or how I were. So this one was the sentence of direct. I have converted it into indirect. So it will become, my friend asked me how I was. So this one is the indirect. As you are saying, there is no use of inverted comma in indirect speech. Only there is the use of inverted comma in direct speech. So this is all the story related to the narration, and today up to interrogative we have discussed, and this one is going to only for today. When we will meet next day in our next class, we will discuss about the imperative sentence, that how the imperative sentence is changed to indirect speech. After imperative we will discuss optative, and after optative exclamatory. So covering this all, we will complete this section of narration, that is reported speech. Hope you have enjoyed it a lot. So meet you in our next class. Then we will discuss a lot ahead, that the portion that which is still in our hand, which is remaining, we will discuss this all in our next class. So till then, goodbye to all of you. Have a nice day, have a fine day. Meet you very soon in our next class. Thank you for joining me. इसको ऑफ कर दीजिए। नहीं वही चीज करना है, बच्चे नहीं है तो बच्चे के सामान क्या बनाना है।